Julie Hassan. Welcome to Everyday Dish. Now, I don't know about you, but I crave kimchi on a regular basis. In fact, I think I'm actually part Korean. The kimchi is like salty and crunchy and sour and pickly. I mean, it's so many different things going on all at one time. And I like to eat it as a salad, although it makes a fabulous condiment. So I'm going to show you how to make kimchi at home. It's very simple to make. It only uses a few ingredients. A couple of them you're going to want to find at a specialty store at an Asian or Korean market or online. But it's very simple to make, and you don't have to use any seafood in this recipe. So to begin with, we're going to need red pepper powder. Now you want to make sure that you get a Korean red pepper powder. It's coarse, it has a little bit of salt added to it. It's not the same as your Italian chilies that you put on pizza. Okay, that's one of the ingredients. Another one that you have to seek out is sweet rice flour. Other rice flours are not interchangeable, so don't try to use a different one. But it's very inexpensive, and this is what is going to thicken your sauce. So we have our two ingredients right here. Then what we need is ginger. And what you're going to want to do is you want to peel your ginger root, and you want to cut it into good-sized chunks and put it into your food processor and finely mince it. And that's how I take care of the ginger, because you're going to need quite a bit of it. Now for the garlic, you want to peel your garlic cloves, and you also want to put your garlic cloves into your food processor and finely mince them as well. Then we need scallions. And you're going to want to make sure that you rinse your scallions really well, because they sometimes tend to have, be a little gritty because they're grown in the ground. So you want to rinse them really well, and you want to finely slice them. Then we have daikon radish. And daikon radish is a radish that you will find usually in your local Asian grocery stores, and it's not spicy like traditional radishes are, and it's nice and crunchy, and it's a great addition to the kimchi. So you're going to want to peel that and cut that into chunks. And then you want to do your napa cabbage. Now your napa cabbage is going to be a really large cabbage. So sometimes it can be a little difficult to cut. But what I like to do is I like to slice off the very top of it and then cut it into rounds, and then cut those rounds into quarters. And that tends to be a really good size piece of cabbage for the kimchi. And then what you want to do is you want to rinse it really well. Try and shake off as much water as you can while the kimchi is in the colander, and then you want to place it into a large bowl. Now, what you want to do, that you have all of your ingredients prepped before you start, you're going to want to make your sauce. And what you do for the sauce is you're going to need your sweet rice flour and water. And it's really easy to make, but you want to make sure that when you cook it, you whisk it the entire time, or else you'll wind up with pieces in it, and you don't want that. You want a real smooth sauce. So into my saucepan, I'm going to add water and my sweet rice flour. Isn't that a tongue twister? Okay, you're going to whisk that together until the flour is dissolved. And then you're going to turn your heat up to medium, or medium high, somewhere in there. And you want to cook it until it's simmering and it's really thick. Once it's thick, we're going to remove it from the heat. Okay, it's now thickened, and I'm going to crank the heat up just for a moment here and just get it nice and bubbly. You definitely want to make sure that you whisk it continuously. And I guess I'm whisking it pretty vigorously because you want it to be smooth. Okay, so now it is nice and thick, and we're going to take it off the heat. And I'm going to dump my ginger in there and my garlic. Now you want to make sure you do not want to use powdered ginger or powdered garlic for this. You want to use fresh ginger and fresh garlic. It would just not be the same without it. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're just going to let this sit and cool for a couple of minutes, and we're going to salt our cabbage. Okay, now we have our chopped, washed cabbage. We're going to add our daikon radish to that, our scallions, our red pepper flakes. Ooh, yum. Our salt. Now I'm using kosher salt. If you substitute like a sea salt or something for it, you might have to reduce it a little bit because it's a little saltier. And then what you want to do is you want to toss this around, and the salt is going to pull the extra moisture out of the cabbage, and it's going to start to deflate. So what starts off as a huge bowl will become like half this amount. And then once you add all of your ingredients together and it's sat for a couple of hours, you want to taste it because you might want to add a little bit more salt at that point, or a little bit more chili, or a little bit more garlic or ginger. You can completely add it within a few minutes. Okay, so now we have this. We're going to dump our sauce right over here that has the ginger and the garlic in it. Put that there. And again, you want to toss it. And I think the heat from the sauce too probably helps also deflate the cabbage a little bit as well. It makes it wilt a little bit. Okay, so you're going to mix that together like that. And you're just going to let it sit. Oh, I don't know, I would just let it sit like this for about a half an hour. Then I would take your tongs again, toss it all together, and taste it and start going from there. But you're going to want to leave it for, you're going to change, you're going to check it in between, you're going to toss it, but you want to leave it on room temperature, cool room temperature on your counter for a couple of hours before you refrigerate it. This is what it looks like after about an hour. You'll see how much it's broken down and it's getting really liquidy. That's exactly what you want to happen, and it'll continue to do that even more so. And so let's see, it's been sitting out about an hour. I would leave it out about another hour or two, and then I would put it into a container and put it in your refrigerator. It'll last a long time, but I really like it within that first week because I think that the flavor is more to my liking. And you can put it in soups, you can use it as a pickle condiment for things. You can just have so much fun with the kimchi, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. And don't forget to taste the flavorings because you might decide it needs a little bit more ginger or garlic or salt. And then it's ready, and you get to enjoy it, and you too can eat kimchi and make it at home. Thanks for joining me.